Hello, I'm Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel. 17-year-old Rayvon Shahid of Flint was shot and killed during a stop by two Michigan State troopers. It's the policy of the Michigan State Police that all officer-involved shootings are sent to my department for review, and today we've concluded that review. At approximately 6:30 p.m., the Michigan State Police troopers observed Mr. Shahid walking near the intersection of Martin Luther King Avenue and East Dewey Street in Flint, wearing a ski mask and appearing to be carrying a concealed pistol that bulged from the right side of his waistband. The troopers circled the block to begin a stop on suspicion of a firearm offense and approached Mr. Shahid from their vehicle head-on. In accordance with MSP policy, the troopers activated their patrol lights and exited the vehicle to effectuate the stop. Mr. Shahid began to approach the vehicle and reached under his jacket with his right hand, which is where the officers believed the gun was located. In response, both troopers unholstered their pistols and instructed Mr. Shahid to not reach and to get on the ground. Mr. Shahid raised his right hand and then turned and ran away from the troopers. Both troopers pursued on foot, communicating to each other that the gun was now visible and in Mr. Shahid's right hand. One of the troopers attempted to deploy his taser, and while it appears that one probe did hit Mr. Shahid's clothing, the taser was ineffective. Mr. Shahid frequently turned his head to observe the troopers' locations, then began to run through the yard of a home and towards an open gas station where innocent bystanders were present. Throughout the course of the 25-second foot chase, the troopers ordered Mr. Shahid to drop the gun approximately 10 times.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Mr. Shahid ignored those commands and instead appeared to raise his right arm at a 45-degree angle with the pistol still in hand. Fearing that Mr. Shahid intended to shoot the officers, both troopers fired until Mr. Shahid collapsed on the sidewalk along Pasadena Avenue, where the weapon slipped out of his hands and towards the road. That weapon was a pistol equipped with an extended magazine carrying 24 rounds of ammunition. This weapon is very similar to a pistol Mr. Shahid is photographed with holding on his recovered cell phone. Both troopers immediately began to provide first aid while waiting for emergency transportation to the hospital where Mr. Shahid was pronounced dead. Per MSP policy, before an officer-involved shooting is referred to my department, it's first investigated by investigators from a different district than where the incident occurred. This investigation was conducted by the MSP 2nd District Investigative Response Team. Through my department's further review, we have examined Michigan State Police reports and the signed statements from the troopers, patrol car footage and body-worn camera footage, the Genesee County Medical Examiner's investigators' reports and photographs, surveillance videos from 3 nearby sites, MSP's use of force policies, cell phone forensic exam and reports, and more. It is our determination that the troopers' belief that the use of deadly force was necessary was both honest and reasonable under Michigan law. The troopers were presented with a person acting suspiciously and believed to be armed based on their observations, training, and experience. As such, they approached him with caution. They attempted to subdue him first by taser and provided ample verbal commands to drop the weapon, which reasonably led the officers to believe Mr. Shahid was an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm. And therefore, we will not be charging either of the troopers in this matter. Public integrity is a critical initiative of this office, both to hold public officials accountable when their actions violate the law and the public's trust, but also to review the evidence and the circumstances in cases like this where deadly force is utilized to ensure its use was reasonable and just. The Department of Attorney General is available to lead or support any investigation of an officer-involved shooting at the request of any county prosecutor or law enforcement agency within the state, and today we renew this commitment and this offer.